the rating labels on the games, and the employees. It actually was made a law a few years ago. I'm not sure if it's still around. I remember it being made, but the employees at video game stores are required to say, this is a mature rated game, or you like just be aware that you're buying, a mature game. And it's like an R-rated movie. It's got that rating for a reason. There's a lot of different things. There's, this it's really just the same thing as movies. Honestly, it's violence, it's blood, it's gore, it's nudity, it's profanity, it's drugs, it's any sexual kind of thing like that. So generally, with M games, you're gonna be killing people. Like that's like there isn't an M game, I don't think, where you're not either killing people or a bunch of monsters. If it's some kind of like a horror game or something like Doom. But Grand Theft Auto specifically has always been. Now, when I had a PlayStation 2 back before I started really getting into video games, there was Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and that was, all the Grand Theft Autos are pretty much the same. You hijack cars, you shoot people, you do missions, you take drugs to people, you honk and hookers get in your car, and then the vehicle bounces up and down, and then you get out and you shoot her, and then you get all your money back that you just paid her. So in Grand Theft Auto is the M game of M games. You can do everything in that. And with the graphical technology getting better, computers are getting more powerful. They can process more. Graphics get better. Everything looks more real than from when I was playing. Back then, it was like, it was still bad, but it was super pixelated and everything. And now, you can almost barely tell the difference. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto is what's called a sandbox game, which means that you can just do whatever you want. So you just go out and you're in this created computer world, and you can go do anything. Like I said, hijack cars, kill people, get in shootouts with cops, do drug deals, whatever. Like I said earlier, go into the strip club or whatever. Anything. But M games in general, you got your more fast-paced games, the FPSs, the first-person shooter games like Call of Duty, where you are just literally mowing people down. People play that for the multiplayer aspect, and that's another competitive game that people like to play because people play it a lot. They get better at it. They feel good about themselves because they're good at something, and but that is a game basically where it's a military-esque kind of shooting game where you spawn into this really tiny level with, it's usually like 6-on-6 people, and it's your team versus their team, and you run around and there's people everywhere, and you're running around and you're killing people or getting killed like every 5 to 10 seconds. Now, I played, Call of Duty when I had an Xbox and stuff, and I can't... as far as desensitizing goes, obviously it has some kind of effect. But it is different, I'll be the first person to tell you, like, video game shooting and getting shot at and real life shooting and getting shot at is not the same thing. Also, the desensitization thing, you're not seeing like the after effects, like the real. Usually, it's just a whole body sitting there, but it does play a role, I think, in desensitizing. But and that's another. It's the same like in movies and stuff nowadays too. You watch a war movie or something, and eventually you will get desensitized to it, and that's just kind of a society thing with the movies that we have. And a lot of times in movies, violence is well, all the time in movies, violence is not at all like it is in real life, and it kind of Hollywoodizes everything. It makes it look glamorous or whatever. Like, look at this awesome dude going around killing a bunch of people. I mean, everything has something like that in it. And it's, I'm not a psychologist or something. I don't know how it affects the psychology exactly, but, I mean, yeah, I don't know. As far as that, I really don't think that it'll be some serious problem. Now, as far as the depression and stuff like that video games can generally cause, and feeling like an outcast, and all this other stuff, like they're antisocial, so maybe they're getting picked on in school, like it can be a root of the problem. Like, it starts back here and you get all these other things kind of because of this, kind of because of, it could be a number of factors.